This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by IBF Super Featherweight World Champion Joe Cordina out here in Monte Carlo. Joe, how are you? You're only a few days away now from fight night.
Yeah, I'm good, Andy. Thank you. Yeah, a couple of days. All that's left to do now is make weight, and then I'm good, man.
So I saw the promo video of yourself and Mr. Vazquez kind of going back and forth in terms of how you expect it to go. You were saying he's going to knock you. You were saying you were going to knock him out. He was saying you feel like you're underestimating him. From anything that he had to say in that video, what did you make of his comments?
To be honest, they obviously put it all together. I was saying a lot more, not so much in I'm going to go in and knock him out. It's not like that. But at the same time, like what I was saying is I got the power to knock him out, and I could also outbox him completely. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. And he's saying, like I said, you got to be special to beat me. He's saying I'm being cocky. No, it's not being cocky. Well, you look at my record, my pro record. I haven't been beat. Don't get me wrong. I beat 2 world champions back to back, but I haven't beat anyone like great. But then when you look at my amateur record, 180 on amateur fights, the only people that did beat me were great fighters and top of the amateur game. So yeah, you can go from looking at that, then coming into a pro and winning 2 world titles in 16 fights. Yeah, you have got to be special to beat me. I just don't think he has it.
Joe, with Edward Vazquez, he'll be somewhat of an unknown quantity. People, certainly in the boxing world, mostly remember him for that Ray Ford fight. How much of him do you know now? How much of him have you studied where you feel like you can pick holes in what he brings?
I don't watch too much. Obviously, I've seen that Ray Ford fight. He probably should have won. But I ain't Ray Ford. I ain't 5'6", 5'7". I'm 5'9", big, and I can box. And I can dog it out, and I can fight, and I can punch as well. So there's a lot more. He's saying no, he just likes looking pretty. He clearly don't know, and he haven't watched much. But yeah, it is what it is. Listen, we're a couple of days away, so we'll find out.
The Rakimov fight where you really did kind of stick into it and dog it out, as you said, is one which certainly comes to mind when you mention those words. Is that something which we could maybe start to see more of as your career progresses now?
Yeah, I actually like a fight. That's the thing. But I've never had to bring it out. Like I said, that was the only fight I had to get out of first gear. So yeah, you might. It depends. It just depends how they come and what sort of fights and what sort of fight is in front of me. Then that's how we'll deal with it.
What is your prediction and how do you anticipate Saturday playing out?
Just a win for me. Like I said, if I knock him out, I knock him out, and it wouldn't surprise me if I did. If I had to dog it out, I won't be surprised if I have to, and if I box him, I won't be surprised if I do that either. So I've prepared every single way, put it that way, and I'm more than prepared.
I know we're only anticipating around 300 fans turning up. You could have probably sold that in the first hour if you had a larger capacity here. I know you've boxed here previously as well. Is that something you've thought about, kind of what will, I imagine, not be a similar or normal type of boxing atmosphere, I should say?
Yeah, well, I've boxed here before. It was quiet last time because it was like a last minute thing for me. So I think I had about 8-9 people here last time. This time I got about 30, 40, but over 100 have booked flights and accommodation, and I haven't got tickets. So yeah, it is what it is. They only give me 25 and then 8 of comps, but them 8 and the 25 I got, they're quite rowdy people, so they'll make a little bit of atmosphere in there, and it is what it is, man. I like events like this. Look at the place. It's lovely. See all the finer things in life over here, and it's a bit of motivation.
I mean, if you've got 100 people turning up, I imagine that's going to be quite an expensive after party as well. You're going to have to put on. That's if you win.
I've got to win. No, first and foremost, I don't look past anyone, and not even journeyman. So first and foremost, I got to get the win.
I know you don't look past it, but just to bring it up, obviously there's a lot of talk about what could be next for you, those unifications, Leigh Wood moving up. Where would you say Leigh Wood is in terms of a potential opponent for you? Have you spoken to Eddie about that? Because when I mention it to Leigh Wood, Navarrete name comes to the forefront as opposed to Joe Cordina.
Yeah, well, Navarrete, if anyone's in line for Navarrete, it'd be me. Not Leigh Wood. He ain't got a belt, for one. And Navarrete is going to want another belt. I got that belt. And why you would mention Navarrete when he just moved up, when you can fight someone in your own stable, easier to make. I got a belt, and I'm the best fighter in that division, so if you want another belt, I'm here. Do you get me? But like I said, I got to get through this fight first because them fights ain't there. But yeah, first and foremost, get rid of Vasquez, and then on my list would be Navarrete, Leigh Wood, or vice versa, whichever brings the most money.
Domestically now, the 130 division for you could be quite exciting just looking at it because Mick Condon's going to move up, Josh Warrington's spoken about moving up. I know that you're a champion, you want to become unified, you have those unifications as well, but financially they could be far more rewarding and you could fight in front of, say, the Cardiff City Stadium, or if you'd be willing to, the City Ground, and take your fans there wherever you wanted to go.
Yeah, it's just money talks at the minute. But at the same time, I'm only going to probably have one fight after this at Super Feather and then potentially move up. So that's why I want either Navarrete or Leigh Wood.
Navarrete in Vegas for you, or America somewhere?
Yeah, Vegas will do. Vegas will do, Cinco de Mayo. That'd be lovely. But I know Canelo always does that. So I've one of my things also was to. I always say to Tony just before I retire, make sure I get on a Canelo undercard. So I don't mind jumping on the undercard of Canelo and making it a massive event. And yeah, it's what better to do it than in Vegas on Cinco de Mayo.
Just final one from me, Joe. What would it take for yourself and maybe a Lee or one of the other domestic names to secure a deal for you to share a ring beyond Saturday night?
I gotta get the win first, and then we can talk. Until then, there's no point talking.
It's fair enough, Joe. If you win on Saturday, I'll bring you back up then and speak to you. But thanks for speaking to me. Good luck on Saturday.
Cheers.